blocks of things and you just put them together, you build stuff, and then it gets to the other aspect of the game where you are running away from skeletons with bows and arrows and monsters called creepers that explode, and you're trying to collect things to build a portal to go to a whole nother world. It gets pretty, fantasy-like on that aspect, but what drew me to the game is how realistic it is to things that we all like, and that's rocks and minerals and the process and locations of where they're at. Our main character, Steve, right? This is not what the game itself looks like because it's first person, but this back here is your creeper. We have zombies and then other animals and stuff. What is neat is there's different environments and areas on the map that you can go and explore. Have islands, waterlands, there's snowlands, there's deserts, there's all mountains, there's plains. Come across villages, you can build villages. You want to give yourself a safe room so you have somewhere to sleep. But the object of the game is to mine and to build yourself from nothing. Throughout the game, you have an inventory where you're able to hold the things that you collect. Certain items, when put together, they can be crafted and made into tools that help you dig deeper and longer and do different things. Swords to defend yourself. Not the whole part of the topic of the conversation. But over here, you need a furnace because you do stuff with metal and steels. Crafting table and a chest to store them in, so it's realistic in that aspect, right? In order to get iron out of the ore, you need to be able to smelt it. So as you get hot, you have a furnace. To build tools out of wood and stone, you need a crafting table, right? So it's, once you get to the enchantment table and things like that, again, that's the fantasy end of it, but you still have to collect the things that you need in order to be able to build these things. Primitive tools, right? They start at wood. You get wood first, chopping down trees. Then you go to stone, diamond, gold, and iron. Thank y'all. You're the bestest. Just recently they incorporated emerald. You could build emerald tools, which is probably not ideal, but that's again part of the shiny object aspect to the game, right? It goes fantasy again with potions and things for, opening and entering the portal, but there's still a progression of tools. You need to have a wood one before you can have an iron one before you can start doing anything with gold and diamonds and stuff. And again, there's the kind of the math aspect of it is you have to collect a certain amount of things and craft them with a certain number of things to get the right item made. All right.
Now, do you mine those cliffs?
What? On the...
In the last one, the cliffs?
Yep. You can climb to the jump, right?
Didn't jump.
So, all right, realistically, you hold the jump button up and you just like float up, but you can. And if you see, like in this picture here, there's a cave. And like that would be an opening, right? And then you could dig in through the stone and it goes down. What number of blocks up? What's the max that they have?
256, somewhere around there.
So 256 block sizes you could climb up, or something could be up on the map, and 200 and...
We're at like the negatives now. I don't know
Right.
how deep down it goes, but I think like
Right.
negative 64 maybe?
So negative 64 down below the grade level, so you could be mining deeper down. Another cool thing is certain gems and things that we're going to see are only found in certain locations. The emeralds are going to be up in the mountains or down deeper below the surface, which are common areas for finding emeralds. Diamonds, usually deeper down. You have to go farther down in the game, just like you would have to here. So, things that you collect through mining, dirt, blocks, everything's in blocks, unless it is something else that's specific. There is There's like coal, I think, can be different. There's a couple of others that are not technically block shaped, but they're all counted in units the same way. And what's cool about this is they're all like real life stuff. And that's what makes, like, I feel having the kids play it be really exciting, because you can just teach them about the things that we love through this game. So dirt, lava, and magma, and yes, it is labeled different in the game. Lava that is outside of the surface is going to be your lava. Anything below the ground is going to be your magma. And water. Grass, sand. Coal comes in solid blocks, or anything that has the gray stone with the item in it, that's going to be an ore. The ore being just any material housing what you're looking for. I know it says minerals, but there's rock stuff too, so we're going to talk about them also. Some of the earlier stuff you start with: stone, cobblestone, and cobblestone with moss on it. But as you see, the basic building blocks with stones, and we have plenty of things built out of them still around today. You go down a little bit deeper, you get granite. They have diorite and andesite, and the only difference between the two of them really is the fineness of the grains within of the rocks. Basalt. In this game, they call it lodestone, which is like a broad term in Greece for magnetic rock. So it would be like our magnetite. Flint is separate. You need flint to help spark fire, to make torches and things like that in the game, the same way we would do it here in the real world. And clay. Yeah, so in the game, terracotta, which is usually in the darker red within our red sandstones, usually desert locations, and we would know them through the terracotta warriors. They have sandstone and red sandstone, which again is beach area versus desert area sands. They're still sedimentary rocks either way. In the game, they have two outliers, soul sand and edgestone. They're made up terms for the game. They have to do with more of the fantasy part of it. But by their location in the game and what they are kind of used to build, bituminous sands that have been covered with like coal dust and stuff, and pudding stone would be the two closest things to both of those based on what they are. It's still sand, and it's still just like a conglomerate stone. Those are like the best two ways that they're described throughout the game. Here's some of it. We're going to go into the minerals part now. Well, first, native elements. Iron, gold, copper. First, you can see they're in ores, and then they have a raw piece and then a polished piece. Same way we have our minerals too. A little iron and some iron ore. But I still think it's neat that there are the different stages of these things that they collect in the game, and they're all worth different things and do different stuff. So, what's pretty cool about the copper is they just recently added all the different stages of it. So there's different types of copper. There's copper ore, there's the raw copper, polished copper, then there's the ore, the exposed copper, weathered copper, and then oxidized. And they're all throughout the game also. They have quartz, emeralds, and amethyst are like their really big go-getters that they have in it. Again, ore and polished, and then raw and polished. But they just recently added for amethyst, growths. So they had the different size growths, which which is within an amethyst geode that is based in the game. It's pretty much a big cavity
I was
underground.
gonna say, is that a room? You made an amethyst room?
Yeah, no, they're built throughout within the game now. They're cavities underground of different growths of amethyst. They have the different stages within it. And it's no different from what a real geode amethyst would look like. This game has obsidian, and this is the big icebreaker for me and a lot of the kids. The way that they have to make obsidian in the game is the same way Mother Nature does. Lava has to hit water, and they get obsidian, and then they realize that, and now it's more than just a game, and then they start asking more questions, and it leads into others. Lapis and diamonds. Diamonds are like the big ones. They're one of the stronger materials in the game. Here are 3 that are called something within the game, but nothing specific to the real world. Redstone. Closest we could probably say it would be a cuprite, based on where it fits within the hardness of the other minerals in the game. Prismarine would be your aquamarine, and glowstone would be any kind of our elements that fluoresce. It's just a rock that glows in the game, deep down underground, and ours would glow also. So into the fantasy land of it, that is a portal they go through. They have a thing called Blackstone. Closest description that we have would just be black basalt.
The magician.
They had the nether has nether quartz, which is just a red quartz.
Nether means below, right?
Yeah, because you have,
Lowest.
yes, it's kind of like the game's underworld.
Oh, okay.
Right, you have to go and
And
you have to
hematite
defeat
in
a
it?
dragon. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Netherrack is a pretty cool one. It's a rock that catches on fire and stays on fire.
Oh, wow.
So, sapropelite is an oil shale that you can light and it will stay lit because it's part of its composition is oil. So it is a rock that catches on fire and will stay on fire for as long as the oil is in the rock. So that would be like our closest real world one. And netherite, completely made up, but this is used to reinforce diamond. So we have tungsten and platinum, which are both heavy reinforcers to other metals and minerals. So that would be like our closest, possibly strongest reinforcing elements we could have. And then you try not to die in the game because it is still just a survival game. So be safe in those mines, kids. Don't get buried underground.
Oh, that's
And would you look at the time? We are done. All right, thank you, y'all.